Good day, friends. Just gone 11 o'clock in the morning, second project of the day. And this one is from a returning customer, regular client of mine. And he's just bought another guitar. He has lots of guitars. And what I like about this client, Phil, is he's an honest man. And he brings a lot of guitars to me. And he knows that I do a new guitar setup for half price, and he's bought quite a few new guitars, so he's really not really taking advantage of that, but he has taken advantage of that by getting a good reduced rate. But this time round he's got another new guitar, but it's not brand new, and I says, is that new? He says no. I thought, oh good, I actually get to be paid for this one properly. Just a joke, it's just a joke, Phil, by the way. And he says, no, it's not new. He says, I know I'm going to pay full rate on this. So I goes, right, fantastic. So I'm going to show you what the guitar is. He's bought it used. It's a beautiful looking thing. Ibanez Art, don't know what model it is, got absolutely no idea. Art Summit, made in China. There's the serial number if you want to tell me what it is. Pause that and blah blah blah. I'm not interested in the model number. What I like about it is the truss rod cover there, look, it's got a slidey thing, so you don't have to take screws out, you just slide it across and you get a truss rod, blah 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 blah. So why is this coming? Well, he says he's just got it and it's not playing quite right. He wants me to give it the works. I can see it's got dear strings on there, which he'll be having again. He says give it the works, no matter what it costs, just do it right. But not only that, he's not mad keen on the pickups. Now, them pickups look fine to me. But he says he's not mad keen, and Phil is, for an heavy metaler or a rocker, he likes his rock music, he likes his Metallica and his Motorhead and all that stuff. But he is not a big fan of high output pickups, which I fully understand. So he's gone and got some other pickups which I'm going to put in. So this is going to have a complete intensive setup, frets leveled if you need leveling, electric sorting out, blah 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 blah. He's also wanting me to change the pickup, so he's paying that extra. So I'm doing him a deal, and I think he asked me on what IronGear pickups were. I said I've only had him in once, but they were brilliant. I really liked them. So he's gone and bought himself. These are not high output. A set of blues engine, bridge, neck, is it? Who knows? Tell you in a minute. How to measure, don't say. Probably does say underneath. We get free pics in there as well. Oh, very nice. So anyway, one's bridge, one's neck, blues engines, blah blah blah. We'll know when we've got the wire, got them off, when we check the wires and everything. These are not high output. These will be like a vintage path kind of output, I imagine. The bridge output is 8.6 k ohms and the neck is 7.4 k ohms. I would have said 7.5, 8.5, so you're about right there. We can tell which one's the bridge because it'll have wider poles. Right, that's the bridge. So that'll be on the guitar, that'll be that way, and that's the neck, that will go in that way. Bridge, neck, absolutely beautiful. So we're going to stick them in, done him a good rate on that, so he's having the full works. He may not need an intensive setup yet, I don't know. So he may save himself a bit more money. So I'm going to crack on with that, but I'm also going to be looking at the setup, the intonation, how the nuts cut, we set the tuners right. I love these tuners. They're not Grovers, but I bet they'll be a good brand. Kidney bean shape or butterbean shape. I have them on, try and get one on because lovely set neck there. Very nice looking guitar. It needs a bit of a dust, bit of a wipe over. Beautiful, look at them knobs on there, really nice. With a rubber around the top, easy to move. With two switches, don't know what they do. There could be a coil split, one will be split, one will be out of phase or whatever. I've really got no idea. But what I'll do is, I don't know how I'm wiring these, I've got no idea. I'm going to go inside, have a look how the pickups are wired, and I will wire these accordingly. I'll just copy off what's in there. So, nice little project. It's going to be, it's going to take more than a few minutes, so I'm going to crack on with it. But like I say, if I don't film all this, I'll just let you know that it will be having the intensive setup. If it doesn't need any fretwork, I'm only going to charge him for a player setup, which is 25 quid less. So we'll see where we are, and I am going to crack on. So stay tuned, I'll be back with an update sometime later. Welcome back to this Ibanez Artcore, whatever it is, guitar. I've gone across with, I've basically checked it over. All the electrics are working, which is absolutely fine. But you've got a three-way switch on each of these, which is, I think that's the series side. That's, I don't know what that is. There's a parallel side there. In the middle, it's maybe out of phase. I don't know. but these on the series, it just seems to put them in series, both full humbucker mode. So I've gone and looked for a diagram, and I've not found one. And let's have a look at this. Look at that. What a job, Harris. I've probably underquoted for this, because it's not going to be a nightmare. It's just I don't know what guitar it is, I don't know what model it is, and every diagram I've found so far has 5 pots. They only have 4. There seems to be another blend pot that sits over here somewhere. So because I can't find that, I'm going to talk to the owner, find out what guitar, what model this is. Both the pickups wire to there, and there's a that switch in there, look. So each wire goes to a different lug on the switch. I'm going to clean all that out, take them out completely. I'll take some good photos of that so I've got a good reference point. And I'm going to have to work out the colour combination between that, the Ibanez ones, the Ibanez colouring, which is pretty standard colouring. Red, white, green, black and bare. But they all the wires do different things, as they do. You look at a DiMaggio pickup compared to a Seymour Duncan, compared to a Gibson, compared to an Ibanez. They might all have the same coloured wires, but each wire does a different thing. I've then got to match that to the wiring on the IronGear pickups. So that is going to make my job a lot more difficult. I don't know what the colour scheme is on an IronGear. Is it the same? I'm going to find out. You can find out with me, won't you? But the thing is, then I've got to find out what each wire does. So I'm going to wait till I hear back from Phil, because I can't continue with this. These are still sealed up, these pickups, so you've got to bear with me while I try and get a nail under there and get it up and duck. Come on now. Now there was another piece of hidden tape somewhere I can't find, obviously, because that is not coming out the box. Oh, the dilemmas of live TV. It's not live TV, but you get what I mean. Why is that stuck then? Oh, just here. So there you go. So there's a pickup. Let's have a look, see if we've got a diagram in there. I'm hoping there's one in there. Oh, nice piece of same colour scheme, same colour wires, but I don't know what each wire does. So I will, wiring guide, IronGear wiring guide, humbucker, 4 wire, red is hot. Is red hot on the Ibanez? Don't think so. Might be. Well, it might be. Green and white wires should be connected together. No, the black is hot, I believe, on an Ibanez. All the way around. So basically I've got to work a key out for these pickups compared to those pickups, work it all out, what goes where. Then I've got to adapt the wiring thingamadoof. Oh, here we go. From the Ibanez to the... We know what I mean. Basically I've got to work out what wire does what on the Ibanez pickups and what wire does what on the IronGear pickups, and swap them around on the little 6-pointed switch jobby there. So that's gonna stick an hour on the job for me. But anyway, this is on hold for a bit because I can't do anything till I have a wiring diagram. I'm sure I will find one. I will talk to Phil, find out exactly what model this is, and we will take it from there. But now I'm going to leave this one for today. I've got 2 other guitars I'm already doing today anyway, and I've got a couple due in. This one is going to be done between Christmas and New Year now. I'm not going to faff about because this is a 4 or 5 hour job. So I will leave this and move on to something else. I will come back and give you an update as and when I am available to do so, or when I've got the information I need. So stay tuned and we'll sort it out. So finally I got a reply from Ibanez, wherever their office is. I emailed 2 addresses, one in, can't remember, just 2 contacts addresses, email addresses I got for Ibanez, and I eventually got a reply. And they sent me a diagram of how they think these pickups are wired, but they said they couldn't be certain, so they said send back any identifying marks on the pickups, which I told them about the identifying marks on the top of the pickups. And the email, I had to wait another week and a half for another email, because originally we sent that wiring diagram, which says it could be right. I thought, well, fair enough. So I emailed again. They asked if there's any identifying marks. So I sent to him, I told him the guitar is an Ibanez AR325. I told him the serial number, which begins 4L. And I told him that the pickups were stamped S58-N for neck and S58-B for bridge. And they came back and it says, as far as we know, Super 58 pickups that are stamped on top were only one conductor and not used by the factory that produces guitars with serial number that begins with a 4L prefix, which this one does. But they did say the Super 58s used in 4L models use this colour code, which is north plus is red, north negative is white, south plus is black, and south negative is green. Hope that helps. So what I'm going to do is I'll draw myself a little key of where they go on the the three-way switch, 6 solder points here. That's what every wire does on the Ibanez, on this guitar. And I'm going to measure the coils by using a compass to identify which is a north and which is a south magnet, and finding out the coils using a multimeter. I will be able to determine what each wire does. I could have done this originally anyway. I just thought it would be easier if they gave me a key and a diagram, but they didn't. So I'm going to remove the wiring. I'll just show you again because it is very interesting. The two switches are there and there. Can you see them? They've both got 6 solder points. I know these switches. One is series, split and parallel. So it should go series, split, parallel. All I'm going to do is I'll work out what each of these wires does, and that will give me a map. And then I'll be able to work out what each IronGear pickup does, and I will route the wires accordingly. But I'll have to swap same colour codes on the IronGears, but each wire will do a different thing. So I will get it worked out. Bit more of a pain in the butt than it ought to be, but at least I'll get the two pickups compared. I've got this, that's the email I got from Ibanez, which I can use for reference. I've also got various bits showing me how to measure coils and determine what's what. I've got some notes I took here, blah blah blah, and I have a nice piece of found on the internet telling me how to measure wires to find out what coils what, and what coil which is south and which is north. I know the south coil will be the one with the slugs, and this will be the north. That's how it should be, but I will measure and check anyway. Once I determine what 2 wires are on that coil and what 2 wires are on that coil, we'll be able to work out exactly what each of these switch positions does, or whatever, you know, wherever we solder it onto here. So I'm going to be soldering the same way, just swapping the colours of the wires around. So yeah, been a lot of research, a lot of waiting. You know, this is the sort of stuff I don't charge for. This research and waiting about and stuff like this. If I did, you wouldn't be able to afford to get your guitars done. There you go. So I'm going to blob on with that. I'm going to remove the pickups, get some measuring. I'll come back when I've got the pickups out and we'll start doing some measuring and see where we are. Well, this is pretty genius because I found these instructions on the internet how to test polarity and what's what coil and what wire does what, and I've determined that the 2 coils on this pickup, black and white are one coil and red and green are another coil. Now what we need to do is we need to determine which is north, which is south. Well, the slug side is the south side. So if we put a magnet across the south side, we'll get a reading. And we do. Look at the multimeter moving. Put it on the north side, we get nothing. You get something that's not even measurable because that's on millivolts. But that, you get a reading. So I know that the black and white one are this coil, and I know this is the south coil. Now I need to determine which wire is positive and which wire is negative. And how we do that is we magnetise this coil. So what we do, I've got the red, the positive on the white wire, black, the negative on the black wire. So we know black and white's one coil. We know that is the coil. Now what we're looking for is when I make a connection across these magnets, we're going to get a reading. If it goes negative, it means we've got the positive red on the wrong wire. It means the white's negative, the black is positive, making the black wire the positive end of the coil and the white the negative end. And I'm going to show you that this is negative, because what we'll do is we'll get a negative symbol come up, it will get a little peak in voltage and it will get a negative on there. And there we go. And there you go, it shot up and it went negative straight away. Now to make sure we have got the black is positive, the positive wire on that coil, what we're going to do is we're going to put the black on the positive terminal, which is red, on the multimeter, the black on the negative on the multimeter. on the white wire. Now we're going to show that this one coil, black and white, this coil, I'm going to show that the black wire is the positive, white wire is the negative. We've got no reading on there. Watch the multimeter, not me. Watch. Got a big peak there, but no negative, it stayed positive. It means this south coil, the black wire is the positive and the white wire is the negative. So we've got that coil sorted out. Now we're going to do the same for the north coil, which are the red and green wires. And I already know that red is positive and green is negative. So I'm going to wire green negative, just to show, because it's easy to read negative because you see it flash up. I've never done this before. And now I'll be able to determine any pickup ever. I'll be able to determine which is which coil, which is positive, which is negative, and we'll know then how to wire it. So there you go. So we've got the positive terminal on the green wire, and the negative terminal on the red wire. We know it's this coil, not this one. If we put something on there, we're going to get a nothing reading, get a nothing there. So we know it's this coil. So we're looking, what should be happening here is, because I've got these the wrong way around, I know red's positive and green's negative, and that's positive, negative. I know when I do this I'm going to get a negative reading. So let's look for a negative reading. There you go, negative reading, big peak there, come straight up negative. Let's say get back down to 0. Again, this coil, there you go, straight onto negative. So we know we've got those wires the wrong way around. So we're going to take red wire, which I now know is the north coil, and the red wire is positive. The green wire is going to be negative. So what I'll do is I'll write down a key. There you go. So we're now on this bottom coil, which is the north coil. Got red on the red, positive terminal on the positive wire, green wire, which should be negative on the negative terminal, the black on the multimeter. So let's go and measure it. There you go. Again, straight away we should get a positive peak. There you go. So we now know which wire is which. Brilliant. There you go. So we now know that red and green are the north coil. Red is positive, green is negative. We know that black and white are the south coil. We know that black is positive and white is negative. I hope I didn't make a mistake explaining that there. So now we know that's it. I've got it all written down. Ibanez S58 pickup for this guitar. Red north coil. Red and green are the north coil. Red is positive, green is negative. Black and white are the south coil. Black is positive, white is negative. So absolutely brilliant. So that's how you determine the wires on a pickup. You can do this for all pickups. Here's the instructions. I'll put a link to these instructions if I find it on this video somewhere. So that's it. Now what I can do is I can determine what wire does what on this Ibanez and what wire does what on the IronGear pickups, and I can make a key and a map to rewire the IronGear pickups into this Ibanez guitar. Also wanted to show an easy way to tell which is a south coil, which is a north coil, is you can get a normal compass and the pointer will attract to whichever magnet is in which coil. I know that's south and that's north, so to prove that, what I'll do is I'll take a compass, and north is pointed at the bottom, but the north dial should go and point to here. And there you go. North goes straight up, look. Again, north. Now this one is south, so if I turn it round, what's the magnet? South. It's pointed straight to it, look. Now I'll just show you there, I've got north at the bottom, watch what happens. See? South. Get north at the bottom again. South. That's the south coil. There, north. That's a north coil. But take it as a given, more or less, anyway. The south coil is the one with slugs. The north coil is the one without slugs. But if you don't have a compass, you can use the trick I use with a multimeter and a voltage reader. It's a bit more difficult to do it on a voltmeter or multimeter, but you can always do it with a magnet regardless. There you go. That's north at the bottom and that's south at the top. South coil, north coil, south magnet, north magnet. So that's how you tell that. Little tricks I've picked up over the last couple of days. I've now completely identified every wire on the Ibanez, and this is what I've come out with. Red and green wires are the north coil. Red's a positive, green's a negative, or red is the start, green is the finish. Black and white are the south coil. Black is the positive, white is a negative. So black's the start, white is the finish. That's how you work it out. I'm now going to look at that diagram, compare it with the IronGear one, and I'm about to decide when I can decide which wire does what and goes where, according to this little key I made, because that's for Ibanez. Say for instance, if the wires are all the same, I'll wire it exactly the same. If the green and white are swapped, I'll just swap the green and white round. So that will give me the correct functions on the pickup selectors on the three-way or the it's a tri-sound configuration on the Ibanez. So it's been a bit of a pain. I could have done all this without emailing Ibanez anyway, but I thought it'd be easier just to email them and get them to give me the answer. But they gave me two answers and both of them were wrong. And that is, you know, it's a downer, it's a negative for Ibanez for using so many different colour configurations on their pickups. Why not stick to one? DiMarzio stick to one, Gibson stick to one, Seymour Duncan stick to one. But they were swapping about willy-nilly. But Ibanez, in their wisdom, have decided that they're going to change theirs whenever, and it's very confusing. You know, don't do it. It's bad enough for all different companies use a different colour configuration, even though they use the same colour wire. Don't confuse the issue even more by making, you know, changing yours whenever you want to. I mean, Ibanez also use sometimes yellow for white and blue for green. Why? Anyway, that's it now. It's Saturday afternoon. I am finished now until Monday. So have a good weekend, people, and I'll be back with an update on this guitar shortly. Welcome back, or should I say, welcome back. And the face mask is because I'm going to be soldering today, and I use solder with lead in it. Out of all the solders I've tried over the years, it is the best one. So I'm not going to change it at the moment until I find another one good enough. But where I am today with this Ibanez guitar is I got absolutely no joy at all from Ibanez when I've been contacting them by email lately. So I went, and as you saw earlier in the video, I measured the pickups and I managed to find out which was a north coil, which was south, which was a positive wire, which was negative, blah blah blah. Anyway, when it came to go and checking the IronGear pickups, the north and south coils are totally opposite to the Ibanez north and south coils. So I thought, right, I'm going to completely scrap that idea of wiring in, copying that. So what I did was I went and got a Seymour Duncan diagram for how they wire a series, cut, split and parallel switch. Copied it down where each wire goes, blah 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 blah, and transferred that over to IronGear. Basically we have got the hot wire, sorry, not the hot wire, the hot wire goes here, the earth goes there, and your two splits go here, and you've got a jumper from that lug to that lug there. Don't know if that'll make any sense to anyone, but it makes sense to me. So using that as a colour code, which corresponds to a Seymour Duncan, it doesn't correspond to the Ibanez itself was wired, but everything else, it all shows that configuration. So I'm going with that configuration. It is going to work, and if I find that the switches are reversed, we'll just turn the switches around 180 degrees. So what I've done is, and I don't know if you can see from there, I've got the new pickups in the guitar, pulled the wires through, and I have stripped the wires quite a ways back. I've got the three-way switch pulled through. I'm going to turn the guitar, turn the camera around, and I can show you. There you go. You get the idea. I've pulled the switch through. I've got two big double thickness chamois taped up here. So I've just got the bit I need. I've got my hands-free, no hands thing holding the six-way or the three-way switch. It's an on DPT whatever switch. I've stripped back the wires, got a good length on there, and I'm going to basically tidy up each of these terminals. I don't know what solder's been used in there, got a nice clean solder iron there. I'm just going to make sure we can melt the solder. Just check everything, because I'm going to take these wires off to put them back on, so to speak. I may not have the soldering iron hot enough yet. Yeah, I've got it hot enough. Now that was not even pushed through, that was just basically soldered on. Which is fine, we can go that route if need be. I would personally prefer to have the wire soldered through. Oh, I might have a bit too much heat on there. It's not going to hurt us, is it? So like I say, I'm going to strip these wires, I'm going to get them all cleaned up, and we're going to use them again. It's looking really, really nice. And I will come back once I've got this done. I'm not going to do anything yet because I haven't got my mask on. I'm going to put my mask on, I'm going to tie these terminals up, and I'm going to get some wires on there. I know which wire needs to go where. The bait I'm going to leave off because that's going to go to the back of the pot. I will screen, I hope you can see that back there. I will screen these this earth wire like so. I'll solder it back on the pot so it's not going to touch or short anything. We'll get plenty of solder around that area as well. So there you go. So that's it. I will come back once this is done, and hopefully everything will work fine. Right, we've got a small problem with this Ibanez guitar because everything works fine. The free positions on the neck pickup work fine, but on the bridge position, I'm getting nothing out of bridge position in the parallel mode. But the split's working fine, and the full's working fine. So I don't know what's gone off there, so I'm going to recheck the solder connections. I'm going to remove that three-way switch. Let's just show that the neck one is working fine. So that I think is full position, split position. So whatever, so I don't know what's happening there. Your three positions, parallel, series and split. I don't know which one's which, I've got no idea. But I'm going to remove that little on switch, and I'm going to check the solder connections. I might even fiddle about just checking that. I might even swap the coil split ones just round to see if it makes any difference. I don't know, but I'm going to check the connections, reflow some solder. I'm going to take off, I think I'll take off all 6 wires, and I'll resolder everything. You know, I've got really got no choice. Hopefully we'll get it working. If not, I might have to replace the switch in there. I don't know yet. Jobs like this, fiddly little jobs. I hate stupidly complicated wiring on guitars. I don't think there's any need for it. Have it full, have it split, job done. If you can't get it with your EQ and your tone or whatever, I can't tell you. Back soon. Well, that was a very simple fix. I had shorted one of the connections. I'll show you which one I shorted. I'd got a short running from the white wire south finish over to this jumper section just here. There's a connection from there to there, the north finish and this side, but not there. And I'd ran some solder, it had lopped over and made a short connection, shorting that. So I'm going to show the guitar working in all positions now. Not going to zoom in or anything, just going to show it. Guitar's in the middle position. Get these both in the middle, so we've got a split coil, which we have. It should be both be full. They should both be, I believe, parallel, is it? So we've got 3 positions all working. This one, split. There you go. So all pickup connections. We can leave them with plastic on there, so I've got strings on. One problem, this pickup is tipping back a little bit. It's because the cavity in the back is not cut far enough, or these holes are drilled too far that way. I could fill them in and drill, but I'll see what Phil wants to do. We'll get away with that, it'll be fine. Just not perfect. We'll just have the pickups a little bit more sunken in. I personally myself would fill in the holes, and I'll re-drill them and move this cover across a little bit. And it only is moving a millimetre. But that's it. So now I'm going to check the level of the frets. I will get a notched straight edge. Got one right here, look. It'll be 24 3/4 scale, I believe. And we're very, very close to straight there. Close enough to just check the frets. See if there's any high ones. High one there. High one there. High one there. High one there. So we've got 4 frets to level. It's a little bit high. So you're looking at 5 frets. And that one's rocking a bit there. So we've got 6 frets, need slight attention. That will be included in the price. Well, 5 are included. I'm not going to charge for an extra one. So got a bit of fret leveling to do there. So this is everything, the full works, complete setup. So had all the electrics done, so had new pickups installed, iron gears and replaced the Ibanez ones. I'm going to crack on with the work. I'm not going to show any more of the work. I'm just going to level those frets, get them polished up, get some strings on there, get it set up, and this guitar will be good to go. Mental here today. I've got 3 guitars on the go, but we are back on this Ibanez AR325. I'm looking for a cloth, that's it. Right, so we've got the electrics done. I've just gone across the frets with a fret rocker with the neck straight. There are no less than 9 frets that need attention. But it's not major attention, so I'm not going to charge extra for these because I can just skim with a file. I haven't even got to put it properly on the jig. If I had to put it on my jig, I would have been charging for a complete fret level and then to install the pickups and blah 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 blah, so it would have been a lot more expensive. But frets we've got, I marked in black, and I don't know if you can see them all there, but I'll try and point them out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11 frets. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 frets need attention here or there. Some of them just on the edge there like that. Some of them just on these edges here, so it's not full frets. So I could do that confidently and quickly. It's not going to take mega long because I could do it all. They're just rocking a slight bit. A lot of people would probably leave it, say, oh, you'll get away with that. I don't do getting away with that. Me being a fret and neck specialist, I make sure the neck is straight and all of the frets are level. I won't leave a high fret anywhere, but I'm going to be able to do this basically with 2 files. And the files I'll be using will be my crowning file. I use a flat edge to level the files where we need leveling, to take that bit of extra off. Then I'll be going on the angle and rolling over as I do it to create, where I flatten them, to create that radius again. And I'll do finishing off with a 2.5mm. Good day, fret friends. Good day, fret friends. Just gone 11 o'clock in the morning, second project of the day. And this one is from a returning customer, regular client of mine. And he's just bought another guitar. He has lots of guitars. And what I like about this client, Phil, is he's an honest man. And he brings a lot of guitars to me. And he knows that I do a new guitar setup for half price. And he's bought quite a few new guitars. So he's really, not really taking advantage of that, but he has taken advantage of that by getting a good reduced rate. But this time round, he's got another new guitar, but it's not brand new. And I says, is that new? He says, no. I thought, oh good, I actually get to be paid for this one properly. Just a joke. It's just a joke, Phil, by the way. And he says, no, it's not new. He says, I know I'm going to pay full rate on this. So I goes, right, fantastic. So I'm going to show you what the guitar is. He's bought it used. It's a beautiful looking thing. Ibanez Art, don't know what model it is, got absolutely no idea. Art Summit, made in China. There's the serial number if you want to tell me what it is. Pause that and blah blah blah. I'm not interested in the model number. What I like about it is the truss rod cover there, look, it's got a slidey thing, so you don't have to take screws out, you just slide it across and you get a truss rod, blah 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 blah. So why is this coming? Well, he says he's just got it and it's not playing quite right. He wants me to give it the works. I can see it's got dear dear strings on there, which he'll be having again. He says give it the works, no matter what it costs, just do it right. But not only that, he's not mad keen on the pickups. Now, them pickups look fine to me. But he says he's not mad keen, and Phil is, for an heavy metaler or a rocker, he likes his rock music, he likes his Metallica and his Motorhead and all that stuff. But he is not a big fan of high output pickups, which I fully understand. So he's gone and got some other pickups which I'm going to put in. So this is going to have a complete intensive setup, frets leveled if you need leveling, electric sorting out, blah 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 blah. He's also wanting me to change the pickup, so he's paying that extra. So I'm doing him a deal, and I think he asked me on what IronGear pickups were. I said I've only had them in once, but they were brilliant. I really liked them. So he's gone and bought himself. These are not high output. A set of Blues engine, bridge, neck, is it? Who knows? Tell you in a minute. How to measure, don't say. Probably does say underneath. We get free pics in there as well. Oh, very nice. So anyway, one's bridge, one's neck, Blues engines, blah blah blah. We'll know when we've got the wire, got them off, and we check the wires and everything. These are not high output. These will be like a vintage path kind of output, I imagine. The bridge output is 8.6 k ohms and the neck is 7.4 k ohms. I would have said 7.5, 8.5, so you're about right there. We can tell which one's the bridge because it'll have wider poles. Right, that's the bridge. So that'll be on the guitar, that'll be that way, and that's the neck, that will go in that way. Bridge, neck, absolutely beautiful. So we're going to stick them in, done him a good rate on that, so he's having the full works. He may not need an intensive setup yet, I don't know. So he may save himself a bit more money. So I'm going to crack on with that, but I'm also going to be looking at the setup, the intonation, how the nuts cut, we set the tuners right. I love these tuners. They're not Grovers, but I bet they're will be a good brand. Kidney bean shape or butter bean shape. I have them on, try and get one on because lovely set neck there. Very, very nice looking guitar. It needs a bit of a dust, bit of a wipe over. Beautiful, look at the knobs on there, really, really nice. With a rubber around the top, easy to move. 2 switches, don't know what they do. There could be a coil split, one way split, one will be out of phase or whatever. I've really got no idea. But what I'll do is, I don't know how I'm wiring these, I've got no idea. I'm going to go inside, have a look how the pickups are wired, and I will wire these accordingly. I'll just copy off what's in there. So, nice little project. It's going to be, it's going to take more than a few minutes, so I'm going to crack on with it. But like I say, if I don't film all this, I'll just let you know that it will be having the intensive setup. If it doesn't need any fretwork, I'm only going to charge him for a player setup, which is 25 quid less. So we'll see where we are, and I am going to crack on. So stay tuned, I'll be back with an update sometime later. Welcome back to this Ibanez Artcore, whatever it is, guitar. I've gone across with, I've basically checked it over. All the electrics are working, which is absolutely fine. But you've got a 3-way switch on each of these, which is, I think that's the series side. That's, I don't know what that is. There's a parallel side there. In the middle, it's maybe out of phase. I don't know. But these on the series, it just seems to put them in series, both full humbucker mode. So I've gone and looked for a diagram. And I've not found one. And let's have a look at this. Look at that. What a job that is. I've probably underquoted for this. Because it's not going to be a nightmare. It's just, I don't know what guitar it is. I don't know what model it is. And every diagram I've found so far has 5 pots. They only have 4. There seems to be another blend pot that sits over here somewhere. So because I can't find that, I'm going to talk to the owner, find out what guitar, what model this is. Both the pickups wire to there, and there's a that switch in there, look. So each wire goes to a different lug on the switch. I'm going to clean all that out, take them out completely. I'll take some good photos of that so I've got a good reference point. Colour combination between... Six done. Check one back, fine. Check one forward, fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 frets done. I normally only include 5 in an intensive setup, but because this is a regular customer, it comes a lot, and I'm not removing a lot of material. I'm not going to charge any extra for these double frets. It's not going to take me long to do them. Bear with me. So this one quite high here, just in this area. Now what I don't want to do is I don't want to take off too much, so we don't go gung-ho. Nice steady strokes. Still a little bit high. Perfect. Go one back again, just to check the level. Go one forwards. Brilliant stuff. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So one more, 3 more to do then, 4 more to do because I added one, didn't I? All good. All good. I know this has got a high spot in the middle. Just there. There. Fine at the edge. Fine. Back one, just to check for level. Forward one. Excellent stuff. I'm actually doing this really quick as well, by the way. Right, this whole fret has got a black area, so the whole fret should be high. So just check this one next to it first. Fine. This whole fret, listen if you can hear it. The whole fret is high. So across the whole lot. It's like, through experience, I kind of know where to apply more pressure, so I should get this pretty close straight away. One back one, go forward one. And I did that all straight away. Absolutely perfect. Next fret got a high spot here. Rest of it's okay. Last 2 frets now. Perfect. Go back one. Go forward one. See, with experience I know how much I need to remove, so I've had them two. Them two I've just shown you there, both went perfect first go. Experience, can't beat it. You must experience things to know them. Just a little bit high on this corner. Last fret. That's all that's going to need. Perfect. Back one. And there you go. So I've just quickly done there, leveled. I've just quickly leveled 12 frets where they needed leveling. And I've marked everywhere where they've been leveled because they need to be crowned again now. I will do that with the crowning file, but I'm going to show you've actually gone through this with me. So where there's a red mark, that's what we need to alter. And see if you can see there. See where the red is? Bit of frets I've just altered. So that's it, I'm going to crack on with that. I'm going to re-crown each one of those files, get them all polished up, get the fingerboard oiled, and I will come back when we're ready to get the strings back on. See you soon. Ibanez AR325 Artcore Series, finished. I finished the setup. Beautiful looking guitar. The reason I've got the camera at this low angle is just so I can show the pickup configurations and how the switches work. And what we're going to do is, we've got it in the middle on both pickups on full. And we're going to split the bridge pickup. Both pickups on, split the middle, this pickup, both pickups now split. going to go out of phase on the bridge, out of phase on the bridge, split on the neck. Both out of phase. Bridge in phase, neck out of phase. The complete opposite. Neck out of phase, bridge out of phase, neck in phase. So we're just going to show the variations again. Going to turn off the neck pickup completely. Going to go on the bridge pickup. Bridge pickup on full. Bridge pickup split. Bridge pickup out of phase. Going to turn off the bridge pickup. Turn on just the neck pickup. Neck pickup full. Hang on. Set some volume. Neck pickup on its own. Neck pickup full. Neck pickup just one coil, screw coil. Neck pickup out of phase. That's it, the guitar. What an absolutely beautiful guitar this is, and the pickup configurations and everything, beautiful. That's full bridge. So that's it. I'm going to change the camera because I've shown the guitar working now. I'm not going to play it. I'm not going to put any distortion on there. I'm just going to move the camera and we'll go through what we've actually done with this guitar. So, Ibanez AR325. What a cracking looking guitar that is. The electrics were a bit of a nightmare. I also had to wait for a couple of weeks to get a reply from Ibanez when I emailed them around about Christmas time. Eventually got a reply. They sent me 2 replies. Both times the wiring configurations were wrong, so I thought I'll scrap that. And I did scrap it, and I went and went to the Seymour Duncan site, looked at series, split, coil split and parallel wiring diagram, and it gave me a diagram. It showed me what I needed to do with the connections on the on DPDT switch. It's double pole, double throw switch, isn't it? So I went and copied the information, and then configured which IronGear wire corresponded to which Seymour Duncan wire and got it all in. And I'll just do a quick, I've done both DPDT switches in there, if you can see that. Nice and tidy wiring. I've not put it back on because I wanted to show the wiring, but that's it. What else it said done is, needed a complete setup. I've installed 2 pickups, IronGear pickups, taken out the Super 58s, the Ibanez ones, put in the IronGears. I've left the plastic on the IronGear pickup so Phil can pick that off himself. One downer on this is pickup is leaning backwards. It's because these holes here on the pickup cover are too far this way. We need to move 1 millimetre that way. I would recommend getting these filled in and we'll drill new ones. I've not done the work because I wasn't commissioned to do it. I've also thrown in more or less a complete fret level. I think I altered 11 or 12 frets where I only charge, you get 5 in an intensive setup. Any more than 5 I normally recommend a complete fret level. But I chucked the others in because they weren't that high, there wasn't that much rock, so I thought it's going to take the same amount of time as to re-crown and re-level a complete 5. So I've not charged any extra there. So I had a complete setup, done the intonation. Intonation was pretty close, I only had to alter 1 string I think. The neck is nice and straight, got a little bit of relief in there, the nuts cut fine, checked all the tuners, checked the strap pins, everything's done. The guitar is an absolute beauty. Ibanez AR325. I'm going to stick the back plate back on, just 4 screw affair in a moment, and that will be the guitar done. So I'm going to get in touch with Phil. Phil's a returning client. He comes, brings all his guitars to me, and this will be the first time he's paid full price, God bless him. But not very tight, because he's not tight. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is I do some good deals now and again, because I always do. I do a new guitar setup at a special rate, and he's had a lot of new guitars. So his first one he's had to pay full price for, which is fantastic for me. So that's it. Another project out of the way. It's been a learning experience this one again. I've learnt more about electrics again. Can't be bad at all, can it? So, you know, till the next time, as always, be good to each other, and I will see you soon.